All right, friends. So yesterday we talked all about a topic and how a topic is like the overall theme or the overall focus of a passage, a paragraph, a nonfiction text. Okay. And we talked about how topics also will be easy to find if you're looking for things that are repeated. Okay. So we talked about repeated words and repeated phrases. We also talked about how those repeated words and phrases can be synonyms. So it might not be the same word, water, 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 over and over again, but it might be water, stream, it, as in a pronoun referring back to the stream or the water. So we're going to review that really quick with this little paragraph, and then we're going to take it to the next level, and we're going to talk about main idea, how we've talked about important details help us to find repeated words and phrases that help us to determine the topic. And now that topic and those topic words and important words and phrases will help us to determine the main idea. Now, a main idea is what a text is mainly about, okay? And so you've probably been talking about main idea for a long time. Well, excuse me, I have to take my lanyard off. A main idea is one of those things that kids just struggle with. It can be difficult to find. A lot of times when you're in third grade, and sometimes even in fourth grade, you're looking for the main idea of a paragraph or a text, and it's usually the first sentence of what you're reading or the last sentence. But as you get older, especially this school year in fourth grade and fifth grade and sixth grade, you're going to find that identifying the main idea is more difficult. So that's why it's important that you understand these skills and you get these skills down. Okay, so let's take a look at this text. I'm going to read this to you. Assateague Island is a very special place. A long sandy beach stretches into the Atlantic Ocean. Windswept dunes are home to foxes and seagulls. The famous wild horses or ponies also live on the small island. Excuse me. So if we look at that very last phrase in this paragraph, this small island, we can see that it references Assateague Island, the very first two words of this paragraph. And so even though that's not the same exact words, we do know that these are synonyms that does mean the same thing. So the topic of this passage would be Assateague Island. Now, once we have found the topic of the paragraph, we can actually use that to identify the main idea. So topic is usually no more than 1 to 2, sometimes 3 words, especially if you have like a hyphenated word. But typically we only have 1 to 2 words. The main idea is an actual sentence. What is the main idea, the main message of a particular text? Okay, so let's look at the bottom. Topic plus main point about the topic is the main idea. So the thing that's repeated over and over and over and over again helps lead you to the main idea. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let me move my screen. Water is an amazing resource. Everyone in the world depends upon it. Every creature needs water to survive. Without water, we would not last long. Water makes our world beautiful. Now, we can take a look at this and we can identify repeated words. So think in your head, what's a word that's repeated that's important? Water. That's right. So we see water in the first sentence, water in the second sentence, water in the third sentence, water in the fourth sentence. So therefore, we know that water is an important word. We know that because this very first sentence, water is an amazing resource, that's the main idea. That's the most important idea of this whole passage. Everything else is just kind of interesting. It's nice to know that the world depends on it. It's nice to know that creatures need it to survive. It's nice to know that without it, you won't last long, and water makes our world beautiful. But as far as what this passage is mainly about, just to wrap it all up and put it in one present and put a bow on it, you could say water is an amazing resource. So the topic is water. The main point about this topic is that water is an amazing resource. Therefore, the main idea is actually the very first sentence. You also know that this is the main idea because it has one of the repeated words, water. And because the topic is water. The main point we're trying to make is that water is an amazing resource, and all those other details support that. It's like a chair. Those details that are supporting are at the bottom, and they hold up that main idea sentence, which is water is an amazing resource. Okay, notice that topics are expressed as words or phrases, but main ideas are expressed in sentences. This is what I've already said. Topics, 1 to 2 words, sometimes 3 if it's a hyphenated word or phrase, but a main idea is a complete sentence. It's a whole thought. This paragraph is about blah, blah, blah. Okay, so remember, topic plus main point about the topic equals main idea. Let's talk about this one. Colonial Williamsburg is a great place to visit. In Williamsburg, you can see how people lived in colonial times. There are guides in costumes who show you to the taverns, shops, and houses. You can even sample some colonial food at the restored taverns. One visit to Williamsburg will make you feel as if you have been transported to the 1700s. All right, so what would be the important words in this particular paragraph? Williamsburg is definitely an important word here. It's repeated several times. So we know that's key. Now, let's take a look at what the main idea is. Again, the main idea of this text is Colonial Williamsburg is a great place to visit. That is the most important detail about this topic, which is Colonial Williamsburg. All the other details help to support that Colonial Williamsburg is a great place to visit. So most important detail, which happens to be the main idea, the complete thought, oh, Colonial Williamsburg is a great place to visit. That makes sense to me. That's a complete thought. Now, all those other details are supporting details that hold up that particular main idea. So the topic was Williamsburg because that's what we're mainly talking about. And the main idea is Williamsburg is a great place to visit.